Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. Today we're going to tackle a self-defense concept that is absolutely fundamental, absolutely important, and for some bizarre reason, and I have no explanation for it, literally all of the recognized legitimate self-defense instructors out there don't directly teach it. They do teach it, but they teach it in a very roundabout way, which to me absolutely amazes me. No clue why they don't tackle it head on. Well, we're going to tackle it head on in this video. Very simple formula. Time equals distance equals time. Now, what does that mean? Well, in a nutshell, you need time to recognize a threat coming at you. You need to put some distance between you and that threat, even if it's a couple of feet, by you backing up, which then gives you time to draw whichever self-defense weapon you have on you and to get ready to defend your life. Now, that doesn't mean you instantly have to go for your concealed carry handgun and pull the trigger. No. But by the end of the formula, you should have a self-defense weapon out and ready to use. Now, why is this important? Well, you have to keep in mind that everything in my self-defense playlist is meant to be taken together. Everything is interconnected. Everything I've uploaded, everything I will upload, all of it is interconnected to understanding real-world self-defense and how it works. It's not something where you can go to my playlist and be like, I like this concept, so I'm going to adopt it. And I like this concept over here, so I'm going to take it as well. And the rest I'm just going to leave up on the shelf. No. Everything in my self-defense playlist is interconnected. Everything. And I'll give you an example of that here. You're out and about, and you're practicing Jeff Cooper's color code of awareness, which is something I've gone over in previous videos. So you're out and about. Your nose is not buried in your smartphone. You're not walking around texting your friends regarding some meaningless conversation. No. Your phone is away. You're out and about. You've got your eyes and ears open. You're in condition yellow, meaning you're constantly scanning all around you. You're completely aware of your surroundings. And then you notice something that seems odd. Now, this is just an example. You notice someone who's focused in on you. Okay? Is it a possible potential threat? So you go into condition orange because you get a bad feeling. And you're focused in on this one individual. So now you're in condition orange. Okay. Now all of a sudden you see something in his hands. Is it a weapon? Looks like it. He's coming towards you. Okay. Now you're in condition red. So now you have time, because you were aware of your surroundings. You have time in order to acquire distance. If you're outside in a slightly crowded urban setting, maybe you see a bank nearby. If you have the ability to turn around and run, do it. If this individual is stupid enough to chase you, you now have enough time to turn around and draw your self-defense weapon and get ready to defend yourself. That's how it works. Here's another variation. You're aware of your surroundings. You're aware of something that might be a threat. All of a sudden it's coming towards you. Hey, is that a weapon in his hands? Okay. So thanks to your awareness, you have time in order to gain distance. Maybe you're inside a pub or a restaurant. Maybe the only distance you can gain is by jumping back a couple of feet. Do it. Doing that buys you that 1 extra second time in order to draw your pepper spray or your concealed carry handgun, or whichever self-defense tool you have on you and you feel is appropriate to bring it out. As you can see, very simple concept, very direct, real world, this is what works, and yet none of the legitimate self-defense instructors out there teach this concept in a direct, here it is format. They do it in a very roundabout way. They know it works. I don't know why they don't teach it directly, is what I'm saying. No clue why they don't teach it directly. They do it in a very roundabout way. I guess they figure eventually their students will get the message. Well, unfortunately, sometimes they don't. I'll never forget an example of a police officer, younger officer, pulled over an older gentleman nearly twice his size. And this was just outside of a gated community. Someone recorded the whole thing on his smartphone. The gentleman grabbed the officer, pinned him to the hood of his car, stood behind the officer, and just started punching him in the face. The officer, who apparently had never heard of this concept, every single time he got punched in the face, what did he do? Reached down to try to grab his sidearm. Well, that didn't work because every single time he did that, he got punched in the face by a bigger, stronger individual who was directly on top of him, pinning him to the hood of his cruiser. So every single time he got punched to the face, he reached for his sidearm, resulting in him getting punched in the face again. This is an officer who had extremely piss-poor self-defense training. Clearly he was relying on his firearm, and he didn't even have the distance needed in order to have the time to draw it and get it into action. Why? Because he didn't have time to acquire distance. This guy was right on top of him, wailing away at him. You know, a lot of people think that the definition of insanity is someone who does the same thing, for example, 999 times in a row, exactly the same way, each and every single time. And then when he does it one more time, the very same way as all the previous times, he honestly expects a different result than the very same result he got those first 999 times. And that's the definition of insanity. Well, no, there are a lot of very intelligent, insane people out there. That is not the definition of insanity. If you think about it, that is the definition of stupidity. It really is. You do something exactly the same way numerous times, you get one result, and then you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to do this again exactly the same way every single other time. I'm confident I will get a different result. Well, you're stupid. That's the definition of stupidity. not insanity. And I don't mean to make light of this particular police officer's situation. Thankfully for him, things ended well. He didn't get beaten to death. Some bystander came along, jumped in, and saved his butt. That's what happened. But yeah, get punched in the face, reach for a sidearm. Get punched in the face, reach for a sidearm. Get punched in the face, yeah. I mean, this was an officer who clearly did not have a lot of brains, and what little he had were slowly being beaten out of him. And he clearly had piss-poor training because he did not understand this concept. Guys, everything in my self-defense playlist is meant to be taken together. Everything works together, including this. You need to be constantly aware of your surroundings. That way, you have time to recognize a threat, which gives you the ability to acquire some distance between you and the threat. Doesn't matter if it's you turning around and running away because you're out in public, because you have a safe place to run to. That's very important. Or at least enough distance to jump back a couple of feet, which might buy you just an extra second and give you enough time to draw your preferred self-defense weapon and get ready to use it. This concept, this formula is so fundamental, so important when it comes to real-world self-defense. I have no clue why instructors don't teach it directly. So I decided to tackle it directly. Now, some of you might be saying, well, hold on. If this represents time and this represents time, how about I just react immediately and I don't need the rest of this? Well, that would be great, except you're a human being. Sorry, but we're not hardwired to instantly recognize a threat and immediately have time to respond to it. A lot of people, even those who practice awareness techniques, you're aware that a threat is coming towards you. Sometimes your mind will say, wait, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. No, this can't be happening. Well, it is happening. The problem is, your mind might be screaming at you that it's not, and you're gonna hesitate. That's just a fact of reality. That's how most human beings are hardwired. That's why you need the rest of this. Again, time to recognize a threat and respond to it. Acquiring distance in order to have the time to sweep your jacket aside, reach into your concealed carry holster, and draw your firearm. Just one example. The way the human mind works, you're not going to instantly react over here. You're going to react over here. That's just the fact of reality. All right, guys, I know this wasn't a very pleasant or fun video, but it is an extremely important one. Please keep in mind, all of the concepts in my self-defense playlist are meant to be taken together, all of them, intertwined. Please keep that in mind. Please continue to stay safe. I'll see you guys next time.